Just wrapping things up here at Harper Creek High School for our high school football game of the night, and for the visiting Marshall Redhawks, an opportunity to pick up win number 1 for their first-year head coach Bill Dreyer, and they were able to do it in grand fashion. Final score tonight, 39-7 over the Harper Creek Beavers.
Great football game here tonight, especially if you're a Marshall Redhawk.
It was a very quick start for the Marshall Redhawks, a lot of 3-and-outs for the Harper Creek Beavers, and a lot of miscues. Just one turnover the whole night for Harper Creek, but a lot of fumbled balls and a lot of great field position for the Marshall Redhawks. They were able to put up 29 of those 39 points in the first quarter alone.
Yeah, the game was pretty much over by the end of that first quarter, and we didn't see any more scoring until later on in the game, and not much at that point.
Exactly, and it was actually a couple of touchdowns from Cody Schellenberger, one touchdown to Trenton Fuller, the other one to Jack Krull. Phelan Taylor had 2 big runs, one a 30-yard untouched run and also a 13-yard run, but all the scoring started from a safety in really bad field position for Harper Creek.
And that was number 1, but number 2, Marshall had a great defense tonight. They basically drew a line in the sand very early on in this game, and Harper Creek wasn't able to put anything together. And on the other side of the ball, Marshall took it and they put it in the end zone many times.
Yes, they did. And as a matter of fact, Harper Creek just had 8 yards rushing, 32 yards through the air, with 39 yards in penalties. They had net yardage for offense of 1 yard. So
yeah.
They only really put one drive together, and that was right towards the end of the first half, but it went for naught.
And you know what ended up happening too, as the game went on and the game was pretty much out of reach for Harper Creek, they started playing some of the second string kids. They got an opportunity to get out there and play, but at the end of the night, we went into tips. We got it up 36-0. Then there was a late score by Harper Creek. They finally got on the board, and then we went back to regulation, and then clock expired and the game was over. But truly, everyone, it was Marshall Redhawks all over tonight.
Yep, and actually that one score from Harper Creek, it was a 75-yard interception return from Miguel Alvazuela, and he was able to excite the Harper Creek crowd that stuck around tonight in a losing effort. Both teams now 1-1 overall. Marshall starts off their I-8 schedule at 1-0. Harper Creek, of course, at 0-1. Both teams have tough matchups next week, including Marshall hosting Penfield next week.
And Penfield losing tonight. Maybe.
Well, that's scores.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
You'll see the scores at the bottom, but right now that game's not over, but they are down. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Next week, though, we're going to go watch Battle Creek Central again.
Yes, and the Bearcats were well on their way to potentially winning at Gull Lake. They're back at home at CW Post Field, and their crosstown rivalry with the Lakeview Spartans heats right up again next week for our Week 3 high school football game of the night. And don't forget to join us next Friday night, 6:35, with a 7 o'clock kickoff from downtown Battle Creek here on 95.3 WBCK. Also, don't forget to join us next week. Actually, join me next week as I put together all the scores, all the standings, give you all the updates before our Week 3 game of the night here on 95.3 WBCK. So, we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you.
Have a great weekend.